Well, hello, Lou. Thanks for spending some time with us on this video call. I know it's your day off, so I really appreciate your willingness to come on and spend a little time with us. But we're here to talk about your 20 years of service with Maverick Transportation. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's gone by pretty quick, to be honest with you. The wife and I were talking about it last weekend, and it seems like at times it seems like a couple of weeks ago I just showed up there for orientation in the old building.
Just like everything, sometimes it goes fast and sometimes it goes slow, right?
Well, that's correct.
Well, Lou, obviously you've been with us since September of 2000, and it was the September 25th. And we're having this interview a couple days after that, but you're in our Flatbed OTR Regional Midwest Division. You're from Marion, Arkansas. But you know what? I don't know that I've asked you, but are you originally from Marion, Arkansas?
Originally, I'm from the Little Rock area. My parents split up when I was very young, and I would spend summers with my dad in West Memphis area. So, West Memphis and Marion, they kind of butt up against each other. And then when school started, I'd go back to the Little Rock area. So kind of like dual citizenship, so to speak. I spent some time with my grandparents, but, for the most part, summers with dad, then go back to mom for school.
All right. You're a black hat for us, and then you became driver of the year, right, for 2017. So you are 2017 driver of the year. So there's a lot of people in the office and obviously a lot of drivers that are familiar with you. But why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did before you got to Maverick?
Well, prior to driving here at Maverick, I drove for a short amount of time, a little over 18 months at Dupree Transport. I was a driver trainer there. Prior to that, I spent 21 years in the United States Army. So it's, kind of a short work history, but wherever I work, I seem to stick around for a while.
Yeah, that's a good thing. What's your fondest memory of the military? Let me ask you that a little bit.
Honestly, the time I spent as a drill sergeant, I enjoyed. We'd take these kids off a cattle truck on day one, and I was a basic training drill sergeant. So, 6 weeks later, their parents would show up for graduation, and the majority of them wouldn't even recognize their son or daughter. That's, I've had people walk up to me on many occasions. I don't know what you did, but that ain't the kid left my house. And, you just kind of look at them and nod, say, well, ma'am or sir, this will either make you or break you. It'll change you or you won't succeed, But, some of the most professional non-commissioned officers and leaders that I ever knew, except for my time in Special Forces, were the guys I work with. That was the top 10% of the Army. They just didn't let anyone be a drill sergeant. So, it was a good time. It was a hard time, but it was a good time. Long hours. It's kind of like trucking. Long hours, short time for rest, and then the long haul, you get where you're going and you succeed with the mission.
So, what's your fondest memory at Maverick? So let's talk a little bit about your career here and some of your memories about your 20 years.
I guess some of my fondest memories, again, fall back on training. I trained here for a little over 12 years before I faded back and let the next generation take over. I've had a lot of my guys come, and some females that have been successful here. Some of them have become trainers themselves. At one time, I had 8 of my guys training here at Maverick, and 2 or 3 of them were black hats themselves. So just kind of sitting back and watching them as they progress through the years. 3 or 4 of them are over on the IC side. A couple of them have paid their trucks off, and they're into another truck now. So I guess it's kind of watching their success. And of course, there was the complete and total surprise of being driver of the year. That day on the stage when they said, your picture will come up. That's how you know you're up there. And they called 3 of us up. And I looked at the other 2 guys and said, hey, I made it up here. I guess that's pretty good. I said, good luck to both of you. And I looked up, my picture was there. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can say what I thought, but it's like, that's my picture. And then things went quick after that. You slapped the jacket on me, and people were congratulating me. And my wife and my oldest son were there the day that it happened, and it meant a lot to have them there. And I finally had to tell everybody, stop. I've got to go talk to my wife and give her a hug. And I walked back there and I said, did I say that? She said, no, you didn't say that. I almost said it out loud.
It was a big moment. It was a great moment. Along with that, you've also got 12 years of safe driving, right? Which means that you've got your 5-year ring, your million-mile award as well, and the 10-year watch.
Yes, sir.
So great accomplishments there. What was your first truck, or maybe your favorite truck at Maverick? You know, everyone kind of has a favorite or a first one that they remember.
My very first truck here at Maverick was one of the old 1979 flat tops. I think it was probably one of 5 or 6 still left in the fleet at the time. Had a 9-speed transmission in it. But the thing I guess I'll remember about it most is if you look back over your shoulder at the sleeper, it went straight back, and it was dark back there. It looked like a cave, you know, because I mean, it was flat and it was
Right.
tight. But right in the middle between the sleeper and the cab, there was a square box with a light on it. And I was always hitting my head on that light. On the corners, they were squared off and they were sharp, you know.
Right.
So when Van Beck, who was the truck master at the time, sent me a message, do you want a new truck? I said, if I could stand up without banging myself in the head and put my pants on in the morning, I'll take anything you'll give me. And but that was my first truck here. And went through a few between the trainer trucks and the new mid roofs and the cameras. I've seen a lot of changes over the years.
Yeah, they've certainly come a long, long way. Speaking of long way, do you know how many times you could have gone around the world with the miles that you've driven?
Honestly, no.
Just about 90. So you're at 89. So
Wow.
that's pretty cool. Isn't that big? And how many loads? Do you have a guess on how many loads you've delivered?
They told me once it's on the Maverick app, but I've never looked at it, so I don't know.
Yeah, 3,609.
Okay.
And how many tarps? How many of those did you tarp, do you think?
Probably 3/4 or more of those. We tarp almost everything here.
A little over 2,700. So 2,709 loads that you've tarped. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it becomes routine after a while. A lot of guys, I don't know why you're tarping that. I'm like, because they want me to and they pay me to. I mean, after 3 or 4 years, it just gets to be routine.
Yeah. You're also number 15 on the seniority list, so congratulations on that. I know that some keep up with that a lot, some not so much, but that's awesome. I mean, that's really up there.
Yeah, there's most of the guys above me on that list watch me grow up here as a flatbed guy. You know,
Yeah.
Some of them are drivers of the year. Most of them are black hats. But you know, they've watched me grow here, and they've watched me learn here, and I've learned from them. You know, so it's been a good experience. A lot of guys have left or retired, and I look back on them with a lot of good memories.
So to get all this stuff done, obviously you need a really good support system at home. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your family?
Well, there's my main boss besides you. That's Mary. She's my wife, and she's kind of like the rock that the foundation is put on. You know, she's always been there beside me, and when things got frustrating and you know, especially in hard times, when you know, during the recession, things like that, when it got a little frustrating being out here at times. And I'm not gonna lie, there's been even one time I told her, you know, I'm not getting home and you're upset and I don't like it. And you know, I told Rhonda, who was my fleet manager at the time, you need to send me home empty this weekend because I need to sit down and have a long talk with my wife. And I said, I may be bringing my truck back Saturday. And she looked me right in the eye. She goes, "Are you happy at Maverick?" And I said, "Yes, I am. But, I want us to be happy." And she said, "Then stay." So, she's been behind me 120% my entire time here at Maverick. And there's got no saying, not just in trucking, but in a lot of occupations, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody's happy.
That's right.
I have her to thank for a lot of my success. I have 3 children. My oldest son, he works at the railroad. My daughter is in the Florida area. And our youngest son is Landon. He is a fireman paramedic and a part-time police officer. I have 3 grandchildren from his marriage. I have Owen, who's 10, but he'll be quick to tell you he's 10 and a half. And there's Hudson, who's 7. And a year and about 3 weeks ago, we had our latest addition to the clan, and that was our granddaughter, Brooklyn. And as my wife likes to say, from the minute she saw her, she's a redhead too. So she's just discovered walking, and she's also discovered that if she leans forward a little bit, she can run. So it's fun to watch them grow, and that's my family. That's my pride. That's my joy. And I'm glad I have them.
Are there some other things that you can share with drivers that are thinking about coming to Maverick, or drivers that have just come to Maverick or looking at this industry?
Well, I said earlier, and I meant it from very deep inside. If you don't have the support of your family in this job is almost impossible to do. It's kind of like the military. If you don't have your family standing behind you and supporting you, you're just spinning your wheels. And when I say spinning your wheels, you got to realize that you got to hang around for the long haul. You can chase a penny here and a penny there from company to company your entire life. Okay. You've seen it yourself. There's a lot of guys that have done that their whole career. They've never really stuck around anywhere more than a couple of years. And in the old days, that was, you could just plop from company to company. It didn't really matter that much. But it's gotten harder. And the more guys do that, and they don't, I'm not saying stay where you're not happy, but there's mad and there's truck driver mad. It's like I used to tell my students, you've had a bad week, everything's going wrong, you're not getting home, and you're truck driver mad. You want to pick up the phone, tell somebody, come get your truck. Okay? Take a deep breath, drink your last tea, have a meal, get a good night's sleep. And if you still feel the same the next morning or a couple of days later, calmly reevaluate it. And if you need to move, that's fine. Okay? Always do what's best for you and your family. But trucking's kind of a marathon. It's not a sprint. The longer you stick with it, the easier it gets, and the more used to it you will get, and your family will get. By all means, I wouldn't encourage anybody to pick the job over their family. If your family needs you more, and this doesn't do that for you, never pick the job over the family. Some people say, I wish he hadn't said that. But if your family's not there, there's really no reason for the job. I've been blessed in that, I've had 2 careers, and I've been successful at both of them. And I'm very proud of the students of mine that are out there seeing this. I just want you to know, I'm very proud of you and the job you do at Maverick. Those of you who are just coming on board, just realize the environment you'll see here at Maverick is nothing like you'll see at most trucking companies. We have a leadership board that consists of the drivers of the month and the executive council. The executive council here is very open to the needs of their drivers and what they need to be successful. The members of the council, some people refer to them as the black hats. They're out there not to be running around telling people what they're there to help you. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions we have of the Black Hat program. We're here as mentors, We're here to give you a hand. Never, ever, I want to stress this, while you're working at Maverick, just coming on board, ever be ashamed or afraid to go up to one of the other guys and say, look, I'm not sure if I did this right. Can you look at it? That's why we're here. And that's why Maverick is unlike any other trucking company. Thank you to Steve Williams and the Executive Council, John Coppins. We've had these discussions before. The driver's respect for you is boundless.
Well, I appreciate that, Lou, and obviously, you did a great job on the council, and you continue to do a great job. When we talk to our drivers of the year about things and what we can do, and to improve things, or to change things, or to look at new things. So really, really appreciate the work that you've done, and the support that you've got from the other drivers as well. So thank you very much. Very kind words, and we really appreciate it. And thanks for 20 years, and hopefully we've got a few more.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And again, pleasure to work with you.